What's good, everyone? Alex Trataros here with another Knicks episode of the Knicks Jets, etc. podcast. And with me is always my buddy, my cousin, my pal, the man with the plan, the one and only John Meleka. I'm not going to do anything. John, I know how you're doing. You know how I'm doing. Fucking infuriated. Let's cut the whole thing. I know you're doing well. I know like outside in real world. I know how you're feeling. Fuck this shit. I don't know what the fuck I just watched. We're up 28 points. Then we lose to the nobody Brooklyn Nets. Lose to the nobody Brooklyn Nets.
I mean, they got your boy Drummond over there.
the Mount Vernon native from around my way, just a town over. Look at that.
Yeah, killing us. Seth
John,
Curry.
Go. I legit have no words right now to even tell you how pissed I am. So I'm gonna let you go first as I gather my thoughts and start to cool down a little bit. How are you feeling after this game? Because I know earlier this week we recorded a podcast where you said, and we have you on record, if they lost both games this week, you're on the Deuce McBride starting train. How are you feeling today, my man? How are you feeling today?
What's up, guys? We're not going to do our opener. We're not going to do our call. Just subscribe and like and do a comment and do all that stuff. We are all here in turmoil together. The Knicks could have really changed the whole momentum of the season just if we just got, of course, if we won all of these games, but we gave up, multiple 20-plus point leads. Today was a 30-plus. So if we just won today, the momentum could have been different, right? And I was almost justifying it at halftime, right? Like, okay, Portland is good. They beat the Bucks, right? And today they're playing well, so against Memphis. So, maybe they're just a good team right now. It's whatever. OKC, we went to overtime. It was a tough loss to give up a huge lead. That shouldn't happen, but okay. Giddy killed us. And as Halito say, who? without Luke Dort and Shea, that's kind of tough, but whatever. But to lose to give up a 30-point lead in the second half to the Nets, dude, without, as you said, without Simmons, of course, KD, of course, we know, but dude, I'm trying to even think where they got their points. I don't even know who scored on the team. I know Curry had some threes. I know Drummond had 12 points off random rebounds. He gets all the boards as usual. Bowen had that three, but I have no idea where the Nets even scored. That whole game was a blur. I knew it was coming, right? I knew the Knicks were going to blow the lead in the third quarter. I knew it was going to be a close game in the fourth. Shout out to Winning Picks Weekly. Okay, I had a great game. If we're being honest, I had a really, really good game. I had the Drummond rebounds, the Drummond points. Unfortunately, I had the double-double. Unfortunately, I had Mitch Robinson in the same vein, right? I had it to be a close game between 1 to 5 points, and I had the over on the threes for Randle and Fournier. So, I had a good game personally. So I feel like I just knew the whole way this game was going to go. But what I didn't know, Alex, is that we were going to completely fold in the fourth quarter. And this is the first time personally that I've had a problem with the stagnant rotation, dude. What's going on? Why can't we take out players until exactly 6 minutes left? Why do we have to wait? I don't understand. I mean, shout out to Grimes, who had an amazing game. I love him to death. But sometimes, the rotation just has to move a little bit quicker. Obviously, everyone's going to point to Burks and IQ at the end there. Everyone's so bipolar, though. I'm sorry to use that word, but everyone's just so all over the place, right? Yesterday or last game when IQ had the game-winning three-pointer and he missed, everyone was yelling all over the place. Tibbs is an idiot. How can you give Tibbs a three? This is crazy. You guys are everyone's nuts. Why do you have IQ doing this? And then today, literally the next game, it's how can you not play IQ? He's the hot hand. This is insane. And he missed a huge three again, by the way. So I'm with you, right? This is the first time I'm on the what's going on. Why was Burks in there a little bit too long when you could have put IQ in there? He's a hot hand. But, I mean, there's still some, like, ups and downs. There's no consistency from the fans towards this team. There's no, from what we want, there's no consistent. The only thing that's consistent on this team is the rotation is not moving even by 1 minute. And we keep blowing leads because we don't have a point guard, right? Down the stretch, we're just giving the ball to Randle. We're just like, yo, bro, do it up. And obviously, Mitch Robinson cannot guard a stretch.
Yo, bro, do it up. That's essentially. Yo, can we? You know how like there's the meme of Fizdale that says "together" on the clipboard. I wonder if Tibbs just has that on the clipboard. Yo, Randle, just do it up, just like legit. You got it, bro. You got it. You go down the fourth quarter. You go ISO all the way, man. ISO all the way because offensive creativity. I don't got it, dude.
Oh, we knew that. That's why RJ. That's why we miss RJ, right? Because we just give the ball to RJ. We're like, yo, please do it. And then if he doesn't finish at the rim, we can just blame him. Oh, we need RJ to finish at the rim. You know what I mean? Because that's the offense. Just give the ball to RJ and have him figure it out. If he can't get it, give it to Randle. Let him try to figure it out. That's the offensive flow with no point guard, man.
The one thing I will say, we need both of them to win. We need both Randle and RJ.
Oh,
like we
100%.
said, we didn't have Randle when we played OKC in Toronto. And we just had RJ. It's like, oh, now we see we need Randle. And now we don't have RJ. It's like, oh shit. Now we need RJ. Those two can't be got. We can. Here comes back the logic game that we have from the outset. You can't have neither one of them missing. You need both of them to be successful. I got that much information from this game. You want to know how the Nets came back? Because he asked, how did they win? Seth Curry with 20 points. James Johnson with 14. Andre Drummond had a solid game. 19 boards, 11 points. Man was double machine tonight. Okay.
Knicks fans deserve that. Knicks fans deserve that from Drummond, to be honest with you.
And then you have LA. Well, Marcus Aldridge out there getting you 18 points efficiently, 7 for 14 from the field. But the one that really did it, Cam Thomas, the rookie, 21 points, bro. 21 points. He's good. Yeah, I'm not taking that away from him. We knew he was going to be good. But you let him kill you down the stretch of the game. He's making bucket after bucket after bucket. And you see it, the starters are gassed. The starters are legitimately gassed.
Yeah.
I tweeted out earlier this week saying, for everything that's gone wrong this season, Tibbs has some blame, but it's not all on him. He will be back next year. Okay, you're not going to fire him. He's not going to get fired. Even after this game, I know we're in our feelings. I know we're pissed. I know I'm pissed. Yes. I know you're annoyed. He's not going to get fired.
Yep.
And if he does get fired, then the Knicks are back at square one with the coaching carousel over again. So as an organization, one, I don't want him for a coaching carousel. Two, we saw that he can work because we saw last season that it works. Shit's gone haywire this season. I will not remove that from him. However, that does not mean he's not at fault for how games have unfolded.
I agree.
All right.
I agree.
That's a fact. All right. This entire week, poor rotations, poor timeouts. And it's nothing new. Like we know the rotations are just so freaking like set in stone, man. It is like too much. It is legitimately, there's no wavering for 3 quarters. Like, yes, everyone's gonna hype up for IQ coming in and be like, yo, why did he come in with like a minute something left over Burks?
I want to take those people's tweets from last game. I get you.
But the difference is that IQ was actually hitting his shots tonight. He was an 0 for 7, ice cold, like last game against OKC.
You just gotta trust him. That's just the way it is. You just gotta trust him.
I feel you. Tonight he was 7 from 10, 4 for 7 from 3. He was feeling it, had 18 points. Tonight, I'm like, yo, absolutely.
But he missed a big shot.
Sure. But you know what? I can live with it if he's hitting it. If he's not hitting it, I'm not giving it to him. Like there's just some guys who are just so cold. Yeah, sure. You might get that one, but I just can't go in that direction. Tonight, he deserved it. And for him to even get pulled for Alec Burks is just exhausted. And you want to bring him back in the fourth quarter when IQ is going off? How about even the second quarter? We have Obi Toppin and Cam Reddish, right? Obi Toppin specifically, right? Obi Toppin.
What about him?
8 points. He had 8 points in the second quarter. He was just
okay.
I'm not saying he had
8 points. That's great. They were in transition.
Exactly. Hold on. I'm not saying that he was killing him like as an offensive juggernaut, but you could have used him for a little bit longer. I feel like his minutes were just cut a little too quick.
I don't. he was
for
pulled at
just
the
like
perfect time. Obi was
I don't
pulled,
think so.
that's what here I am. So Obi, he took 2 horrible threes in this game, right? One was in the first half where he was like 20. I mean, what was it? Maybe 3 or 4 feet behind the line. And then in the third quarter or in second half, when things were getting tight, he again
Second
took
half,
a 3.
that's fine. That's fine.
No, I'm saying he
I'm
took
talking,
it. Okay, listen, man, we are getting behind now, and we're trying to reel it in, right? As soon as the second half started, it already became a 13-point lead, right? It already diminished in like 2 seconds, right? We have to start reeling it in by the time OB's in. Him coming to shoot a 3, and then you mentioned the other guy, Cam Reddish. He takes ridiculous shots every game.
he does.
Don't tell me it's now because he comes in for 2 minutes and he wants to take a shot. Then you're an idiot, right? If you want to come in and be inefficient for the 2 minutes that you're in, then you're a moron, right? Like I can't. Have
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. But that was towards the end of the game. I'm talking about in the second half when he's giving you something. You know what I mean? Second quarter. Your starters just played an entire 12 minutes, bro. An entire 12 minutes, especially Julius Randle. He's playing all the first, all the third. You need him to close. Give Obi a little bit of an extended run. We were up 20 plus points at that point. I think it was 23, maybe even was 28. I can't remember right now. At that point, you have the wiggle. You have it was a lot. You have the wiggle room. You have the wiggle room in the second quarter to let him keep going and give your starters that much more of a rest. That's all I'm asking for. That is all I'm at. Like, if it started to dwindle, then I'm like, all right, you start to see it where it's like, all right, they're chipping away, call a timeout, bring Randle back in. 100% agree with you. But they were up. You had quickly, you had Obi going. All right. Sure. Cam didn't shoot well tonight, but he was giving you something of a dynamic, like offensive player that this team just hasn't had. All right. And you have to honor it. It just blows my mind, dude. This entire week is just the same. We've watched. You know what's funny? Everyone's saying we found a different way to lose. No. Yes, we're finding new creative ways to lose towards the end, like that little piece of it. But we're fine. But it's the same rhythm to get us there. It's the same rhythm to get us there. All right, we're making the same meal, and we're just wondering why.
So here's the thing.
What's different around here? And it's nothing.
So here's the thing. I'm totally with you. It was Tibbs' fault for leaving Burks in because he's trying to solve the same problem, and his solution of Burks isn't working, right? And I think today was the final straw with not Tibbs, as everyone's going to be freaking out in your life. That's
he's
talking
not
about
getting
the Knicks.
Fired, guys.
Everyone that talks about it in your, on your
can I just say something?
Media, any articles. Yeah, go ahead.
Can I just say something? We are now at it's like. We're now at the arc where we have to blame Tibbs. Okay. Like, we've been complaining about Tibbs at the beginning of the season. Now it's about Tibbs. Let's remember what the beginning of the season was. Kemba and Evan Fournier, you can't have them. We saw the stats. You can't do this. You can't do that. No. Get Kemba out of there. All right. Burks is fine. Oh, what are we doing here? Julius Randle's not playing well. Get Julius out of here. Kemba comes back in. Oh, we don't like this all anymore. Guys, now we trade for Cam, and then it's like, oh, where's Obi Toppin's minutes? Oh, what's going on? We have so many gripes, guys. We're at the point of the season where it's at the coach. All right. We're legitimately at the coach, and it's been magnified because RJ got injured. Let's focus on that. It's magnified because RJ got injured. If RJ was playing right now, I don't think it wouldn't be
able to get us these W's.
It probably would be helpful leads right now to have him. But the thing is that we don't have RJ. We left him in for the last couple of seconds of a game against the Denver Nuggets, which was not necessary. And now we're here at this point, struggling to win games where it's like, all right, now it's only Julius Randle. And now we have that data where it is, we need both of them to be successful. All right. It's not just we need Julius. We now need RJ. So now we're angry at Tiz because it's amplified because RJ's not here. All right. I just want to point that out.
Yes. It's easy to play fifth quarter coach and say, shouldn't have left RJ in because now he's hurt and look what you did. That's fine. We could also go back to, the fact that Tibbs has been stagnant with his rotation, right? And I agree with you. We have reached a point where I think it's now fair to start blaming Tibbs, right? He had the coaching blunder, which with the timeout, which I don't really care that much about, but it was definitely a blunder with the I don't know how many timeouts to have. Come on, dude. There's like 8 guys behind you. One of them should know.
I'm sorry. You also how many challenges you have? You only know there's one.
Yeah.
Okay,
you only know, it's just a little.
And honestly, I don't even give a damn about that. Honestly, I personally don't even give a damn about that. And here's why: we've seen guys like I don't know Chris Webber forget that all the times were used in a finals matchup.
Don't bring Chris Webber into this. I hate
Draymond Green did the same thing against the Toronto Raptors. Forgot that there was a timeout. We saw that happen again too. And like, I don't really give a shit about that.
These are NBA Finals and Western Conference Finals games, bro. We're talking about a regular season game against.
But I'm just saying, I get the magnitude. I just don't give a shit about it because it happens. Blunders happen. I don't give a shit.
It's not a problem. It's not a problem. I agree with you. And the point I'm trying to make is the last straw that everyone thinks that we've reached is not with Tibbs. It's with Burks playing point guard at the end of the game. I think that there's no way that's going to happen unless he has some sort of hot hand and he has to leave him in. And I think maybe we're done with Kemba starting. So I think we are going to start Burks, which sounds crazy. I know, sounds insane. I know. Because now we don't want, but I also think that D-Rose is going to be back after the All-Star game. So I think that Burks is going to start. And then D-Rose is going to be the guy off the bench. And D-Rose is going to end up closing the game just like Burks has been. Like that same role. So Burks is going to take Kemba's minutes and Rose is going to take Burks' minutes. I really think that's kind of how it's going to roll. Of course, it's not going to be exact. But I do see that kind of opening up. I also see McBride starting to come into the fold here.
Yo, he better come in, man. He better come into the fold. Okay.
So yeah, so I'm on there. I know I said it, and I'm sticking with that. I'm not backing off that take. The fact that we lost these 3 games, the way that they went down, especially, and the fact that it's a glaring. I don't know what other synonym. What other adjective you want to use for
glaring, flaring? I don't even know, man.
anything. The hole at point guard is insane, and we can't close games because of it. So, if we have a guy named McBride and he's getting 45 points every single and windmill dunks every single day at Westchester, and you're bringing him up, and we don't have a point guard, and D Rose is coming back, just do it, man. Just take Kemba out and put McBride in. Figure it out. Put D-Rose and McBride in. Figure out those minutes. Let them steal Burks and Kemba's minutes. Fournier drives me absolutely bananas. So I hope Grimes takes all of his minutes. I love Grimes to absolute death.
So good.
I love. Oh my goodness. I need RJ Grimes and Randle to be my starting lineup. Past that, I just don't care. I just don't care anymore.
I've been asking for that. Been asking for that for like at the beginning, like halfway through the season. I'm like, yo, Grimes needs to be like after he had 32 points against the Bucks. I was like, yo, take Fournier out. Yo, it's all Grimes.
It's Grimes time.
RJ and Randle.
What up, Cat?
Yeah,
I have a question. I have a question, Alex.
Let's hear it.
What's going on with our center? I know you mentioned Jericho Sims. I know we talked about how the only person that sets screens on our team, his name is Taj Gibson. I know we mentioned that Noel is the bionic Michelin man, doesn't actually play basketball with us anymore, just hangs out somewhere. And Mitch Robinson, back to his old foul ways, but I'm not going to hold that too much against him. He's been pretty good with that. But I mean, he can't guard the stretch on the pick and roll, and that's all they do. So let's just stick to that. I know I mentioned Grimes and Fournier a little earlier, so I'm going to get back to that later. So let's just stick with the centers, man. What's going on with the center position,
dude? I mean, tonight was just a night where you saw Mitch just foul out, get into early foul trouble. It happens even to the best of the players. It happens to them. But, yo, LA was just going to town, man.
You really want Sims
in there? I just want to see what he has. I'm not saying Sims is going to be a solution. I'm not even going to say
he's going to have like 5 minutes, right? Or like you want to have like 7?
5, 10 minutes, something in at least.
10
honestly, at this point,
got cooked.
Like 5. Here's my thing. I get it. I agree. I don't disagree with you. Here's my thing. Here's my thing at this point. This is why I want Jericho Sims in. We know what the season is at this point. The season is gone.
But you're only saying that because we lost. Every time you only say that because we lost. Like if we won with Taj Gibson, you'd be like, okay, great. I'm happy that happened.
I wasn't
because
asking for
lost.
If I was asking for Jericho Sims, it's because all right, we're either
lose
up
by 40 every game.
But I'm asking
if it wouldn't have been competitive at all this whole game, if Sims is on Drummond or he's on the Marcus Aldridge, it's not competitive. It's not competitive.
I don't disagree with you.
So do you want competitive games or not? You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. Here's where I'm at this point. This season, like we're not doing the plan. Like let's just scrap that from our heads. Let's scrap.
I'm not scrapping it, but okay.
I am scrapping it from my head. At this point, if I'm asking for Jericho Sims, it's because I'm like, yo, let's just develop this guy, get him some serious minutes, like 5-10 minutes max. Because guess what? If Mitch, especially when Mitch is out like this, I'd rather have Mitch get most of the minutes and continue to develop over Jericho Sims.
He's gonna get injured, bro.
Who, Mitch?
Yeah, you complain about minutes right now. You just complained about RJ's minutes.
Yo, but that's what
matter. Now Mitch is gonna get hurt when it doesn't matter.
This is like a catch-22.
Oh, this is Tibbs' fault. Why do you leave him in? You should have put Jericho Sims in.
I just want to see Jericho Sims in there, get some valuable minutes, develop as a player. That way we know, like, he needs game reps. Practice is going to do jack. G League, yo, he's more than a legitimate center.
He's on our bench. He's on our bench. Like if he's there, like then put him in.
Yeah,
like McBride wasn't there today. He was in Westchester. So
I know, which is I don't even know why, but hey,
I mean, we'll see. I think Tibbs after in the post game said there could be changes. And what I wanted to say and why and thank God he said that at least. I know you're laughing, but thank God he's acknowledging that. That's a step forward. He has the All-Star break, right? Don't forget, Tibbs is a maniac, dude. He didn't get married because he loves basketball too much. Like
he needed to get married because his wife would have been like, no, "Sweetie, you're doing the same thing over and over. We can't be doing this." I'm just saying,
he's dedicated to the game. He's gonna take a look during his break. He's gonna see what's up. He's gonna make some changes. What I was gonna say and why I brought up,
by the way,
Grimes.
Update because I got the LA Lakers and Utah Jazz. Anthony Davis just landed terribly. He rolled his ankle badly. He was helped off by 2 players off the court. Just saying.
Yeah, what's new? Anthony Davis is hurt too. So that's the thing. These players that are always injured keep getting injured. That's a Mitch Robinson situation. But going back to why I brought up Grimes and Fournier in that same context is because of the defense and the pick and rolls. And you can just tell, dude. You can tell every time those 2 players are in, number 8 and number 13, Mr. Kemba Walker and Mr. Evan Fournier, every single time the ball just gets swung, either in a pick and roll situation or just gets swung back on the wing.
You can't have both of them on the court at the same time.
Dude, it's them 2 and Mitch is the easiest baskets ever. Literally ever.
Well, it's tough for Mitch because Mitch has to cover for those guys because
I'm just saying
like lost. Yeah.
But I'm saying he's not that type of juggernaut to be able to make up for all of that. You know what I mean? And it's a lot to ask of him, but I'm just saying, I think
that'd be a lot to ask from a lot of people. I think that's a lot. Hey man, cover the point guard, the shooting guard, and your man. Yeah, please.
Basically the 2 wings. He has to cover the 2 wings.
Look, no, it's going to be tough for anyone to do that. If you're going to have Kemba out there, you got to have a lineup of Kemba, Grimes, RJ, Randle, Mitch. And if you have Fournier out there, you can't have Kemba out there. You got to have someone else out there.
I need to see the defensive stats with number 8 and number 13 on the court together. It has to be.
You don't want to look at that.
Horrible.
You don't even want to look. I don't even want to look at that. We saw that at the beginning of the season. There's no way it's gotten better. There's no way.
So bad, dude. So that's what I have a problem with. I really have a problem with, like, if we want to really break it down instead of just screaming, because everyone's going to be screaming about fire Tibbs and this and that. If we really have an issue, it's the point guard situation, but we can't have Kemba Walker in there with Fournier, number 1. And honestly, we shouldn't have him in there at all. We should go back, stick to our guns. Like, good for him, Kemba Walker. He's a nice guy. He has that smile on his face at all times. He came back and he's a professional. He got triple-double even after we benched him unceremoniously after signing him for 2 years, right? Just straight cold bench, right? And he came back as a veteran, clapped it up, as Theo Pincing it up on the bench. Good for him. Great man. He should be out of the rotation, but definitely not with Fournier, number 1. And number 2, you got to put McBride in there. Number 3, Burks can't be starting, can be ending the game. He just can't be. But if it's not Kemba Walker and IQ is having one of these games that you're talking about where he's bad and he's 1 for 11 and you don't want him in there, and shame on Tibbs for running the play for him. Okay. And D Rose is injured. What do you want? It has to be Burks. You know what I'm trying to say? So instead of just everyone just, you want McBride in there, it's either McBride or Burks. Some guy who's never played before, like, you know what I'm trying to say? Or literally, or Burks, who we just signed and he has played point guard before. So especially on this team and in this system. So that's what it comes down to, right? So if you're bringing me D Rose, I get it to end the game. Otherwise, how can it not be Burks, man? Like, do you want McBride in there? Is that what you mean by I don't care about the plane anymore? I'm not gonna say the T word, but it's rookie time, okay? And
Yeah.
So you want McBride in there at the end of the game instead of Burks, right? Because you don't want IQ. He's having a bad game. D Rose is still injured in this hypothetical, and we don't want Kemba in there because he can't play defense. So you want McBride in there because you don't want Burks? Because if you put Burks in there, everyone's gonna freak out. Fire Tibbs. He's too old.
Here's my thing. When it comes to getting these guys in, you could still close with the vets. You could still mix them in there and keep competitive games.
Don't tell me vets. Is Burks? Are you gonna say Burks? Because everyone's telling me that we should fire Tibbs because Burks played today.
No,
and then we should fire Tibbs because Tibbs played because IQ played last game. Like, I need to know. I need to understand. Because it can't just be. We can't just play fifth quarter. We can't just play fifth quarter quarterback every single game. We can't just say,
thing with Tibbs.
It's Tibbs' fault because RJ got hurt. Oh my god.
Here's the thing. It's not okay. Burks played tonight. Quickly played tonight. It's not. Burks didn't have it. The man legitimately did not have it scoring wise. He went 1 for 5 today. 1 for 5. All right. I don't give a damn what you say. You got to read the room, okay? The room changes every single game, all right? Just because you hit the game-winning shot last night doesn't mean I'm going to give it to you tomorrow night if you're off. I'm just not going to do that, okay? This team doesn't have a Kobe Bryant. It doesn't have a Michael Jordan. It doesn't have a LeBron James, all right? We don't have any of those guys.
Julius Randle.
We have Julius Randle. That is who we have. And to the people who hear that right now, relax, okay? It ain't that deep. But look, if you look at tonight's game, he's 1 for 5. I'm not going to give it to you in the last closing minutes because you don't have it. All right. Very nice that you got me 5 assists. Very nice that you got me 5 rebounds. I don't care. I don't care that you're +7 either. You did your job. You're coming in here. You're not being effective. You're staggering the offense again. Bring the guy in who got me 18 points, who was feeling it tonight, who was 7 from 10 from the field, because we need buckets going down late. We just see Cam Thomas score back-to-back buckets on us. We saw LA go after us. So what am I going to do? I'm going to leave the guy in who's feeling it tonight over Burks. All right. Last game, it wasn't IQ's time to shine. It was Grimes or Evan Fournier's because they were feeling it that night. And the night before that, if it was Burks, then let Burks shine. It changes night to night. This team has a bunch of role players for the most part. They're not that consistent. So it's going to change who you give it to in crunch time. Tonight it wasn't Burks. I didn't want Burks in there. Okay. Burks can get other nights. We call him fourth quarter Burks because there are times where in the fourth quarter he goes off. Tonight wasn't that night.
Felt like a century ago.
I don't remember it, man.
It was 9-game winning streak, that Sixers game, that feels like literally a century ago.
So,
but here we are, man. Here we are.
That's just my point. And when I ask for the kids at this point, it's not tanking. I said it on last pod. We have to read the room. We have to read the room. The room is this team is not a good team. You sent me what Alan Hahn said today. This team, and I told you in a text.
No, that was Van Gundy. That was Van Gundy.
Van Gundy. Sorry, that was Van Gundy.
Yeah, on an interview with Alan Hahn.
With Barton Hahn, yeah. Barton Hahn. And I agreed with those things. I was saying that to you earlier this week in our text group. I was like, this team does not deserve to even be in a plan because it'll give them a false sense of security that they're like, oh, okay, we can just do this and get into the plan and then try to turn it on. No. You're not that team to turn it on. You don't have Kevin Durant. You don't have James Harden. You don't have Joel Embiid. You don't even have Kyrie Irving on this team.
We got Quentin Grimes, baby.
That's right. He can turn it on whenever he wants.
Baby Allen Houston.
Or he thinks he could be the next D Book.
Allen Houston was D Book. So was Grant Hill. They're both the same. All 3 of those are the same. Anyway.
Regardless of the point, our team isn't designed like that.
Yeah.
You got to play. You got to play hard. Like you have to earn it. This team has to earn it. They have to be hungry. Last season they were hungry and they deserved everything that they won, and they got. Okay. This season they don't really deserve much.
We went as far as our point guard Derrick Rose took us until he got hurt, and in the playoffs, and you saw what happened.
Yeah,
and we put Frank. We put Frank the Tank in there, and then the last second as our point guard. Like literally, it's so easy, dude. It's so easy to figure out. But of course, there's some nuance in, when we talk OB, when we need a point guard. Yeah, that's like, it's so obvious, right? It's so easy. There's some nuances, right? Like I love what I also think that there's gonna be a situation where we have to kind of decide whether we're gonna play Grimes or Fournier. So we all know about the point guard situation. We all know, that RJ's coming back, and RJ's gonna be in that lineup. And we just talked about RJ and Randle in there, and that only leaves one more spot. I mean, I know it's easy to take Fournier out. But at some point, I mean, putting $20 million on the bench is tough. You know what I mean?
Agree.
And I wonder if they're going to do it.
Probably not.
You think so? I think probably yes, to be honest with you.
You think they do it today? Put him on the bench?
Yeah, they did it today until they absolutely needed him.
I mean, I'm talking about like starting. Like, it's one thing to close with a guy.
Everyone's going to start. No, listen, starting is different. They have to call their name on the Jumbotron. You know what I mean? They dance out. It's different. They're going to leave that in. Agent has something to say about that, but ending the game is where things are different.
Yeah, for sure. No, I think all those guys like Grimes, RJ, Randle, they deserve to close. Mitch deserves to close. Insert point guard who's ever playing well.
Yeah, we need D Rose back, man. I'm sick of him sitting on the bench. He's been on the bench for like a month now. It's enough.
Yeah, well, he had surgery. Well, what do you want him to do? He had to clean.
No, I'm saying he's been on the bench. Like that means he's coming back. No.
I hope he gets a little bit of minutes here and there, but honestly, I'd rather just rest him and save him for next season.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Here we go. Like, are we going to play D Rose now, or it's going to be like, oh, never mind. Let's just wait till next year.
This is where you want to see some of the young guys develop.
All right, so let's just start McBride season. Is that what we're doing?
Not starting him, but
end the McBride season. End the game with McBride season.
No, I'm not even asking to end the game. I'm just asking for him to get some minutes somewhere in there. And if he plays well, he plays well, and he earns it. If he doesn't, you don't. Take him out. Like, let's see what he has. I think for McBride, man, if you want to start him and just see what he can do with the starting rotation, fine. Like, he's not necessarily the facilitator that this team needs. That'd be more so Derrick Rose. Ideally, you give that to Rose and you let Deuce and Quick run off the second unit, or you promote Quick, whatever you want to decide, whatever direction. I'm not saying they all are the best options, but at this point, we got no options. So whatever it might be the best one on that day, go with it. Don't even care at this point. This season, like, I am so dejected after this game, dude. Like, literally that gift I posted from what is it? I can't ever think of the show. The IT Crowd. British show. If you haven't watched it, hilarious. With the CEO. Oh, hilarious. The gif of the guy just jumping out the window saying, I'm done.
Yes.
Best moment. Best moment. That's from IT Crowd. Best show.
Okay.
Honestly, loved it. It just jumps out. I'm like, I legitimately felt like that after this game. I was like, yep. Let's do this.
Dude.
I don't know, man. But that's all I got, man. That's all my rage.
Honestly, you know what I thought as soon as this game ended? And shout out to our boy Jolito and shout out to his spaces. I thought about starting the Wire. That's literally what I thought about as this game was ending. I was like, maybe it's time to start the Wire. As we sit here, we got the Jets on a break. We got, the Knicks on an all-star break. We do have our boy Obi Toppin, on Saturday night.
Yes.
Hopefully he gets the dunk contest, champion.
He needs to win, man. I think this guy, they got, how
higher up that trade value, baby.
No, you know how some people were saying that the Rams pass interference call towards the goal line was like the offset for the earlier one for the face mask that wasn't called.
Which is BS, but okay.
Yeah, but let me tell you something. I think this is going to be the thing for Obi Toppin. Like, they're like, we gave it to Anthony Simons. He didn't really deserve to win it last year. Let's get Obi Toppin this dub. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and our boy David Zedin, we saw him there chilling in the back of the TikTok. We know he's there. We know he has something cooking up for our boy Obi. Well, we we are Winning Picks Weekly. We'll have a all-star, hopefully an all-star episode. And we'll be able to go down really quick, give you some quick odds on the slam dunk contest, maybe some skills competition. And, maybe some odds for the second half of this season as stock is up, stock is down. The Nets are one of the high favorites to win the NBA championship from the Eastern Conference. I don't know what teams are watching. DeMar DeRozan has been on an MVP type season. Nobody's even talking about him. I mean, there's some good value, and
Bulls ain't slowing down, huh?
The Bulls are slowing down, but DeMar DeRozan is unbelievable. And did you hear the story? I know we're a little bit off the rails here on the Knicks part, but we're big NBA fans. Did you hear that he was traveling back and forth to America when he was last year he was traveling back and forth during the playoffs, and he was unable, and that's why he was like having a struggling season. Like that was a story that came out, and like that's why he's been struggling. Like that also has something to do with his mental health situation. Like somebody in his family's been struggling. He's been traveling on his off days, and so maybe DeMar DeRozan's just been really good this whole time. You know what I mean? So he's a beast, but I don't think the Bulls are. I think the Bulls are kind of slowing down, to be honest with you. They haven't played defense since Caruso left.
And Lonzo.
Yeah. But yeah, there's some good stuff out there, man.
If anything, they're a dark horse to get to the Eastern Conference final, and I emphasis on dark horse. But they're going to be
Bucks. The Bucks are going to be there.
And the Heat?
I think it's going to be Bucks Heat. Yeah, I think the Sixers and the Brooklyn Nets stink.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, and then it's going to be the Suns.
You're honestly, like, you trade for James Harden, like they're going to be good, but next year they'll be good once they get an offseason together.
They're silly for
Nets.
Trading Tybal. They're silly for keeping Tybal and trading Seth Curry. It should have been the opposite.
I think it was
Seth
whatever, but they had to keep.
Seth Curry is nasty, bro.
He's so good. He's such a good shooter, and even Mark Cuban's upset that they let him go. It's Malik. Not Malik. What's the name? The guard that will play with quickly at Kentucky. Why am I blanking on his name? Maxey.
It's Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah. Either they had to give up Maxey.
No, it was Tybal or Curry.
But they were asking for Maxey too. I think all right, if you're going to give up Tybal, we're also going to want Maxey too, because Tybal is like, we already know what Tybal is. He's defensive guy. All right, cool.
And that's a little around the league from the Knicks Etc. podcast, where we are sad and we are just rooting for OB, rooting against. I mean, Team LeBron is so good, but AD just got hurt too, which is tough. Looks like it broke his ankle, honestly, when I went to go look at it.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's bad. So that should be it should be probably decent to terrible all-star game. But hopefully the slam dunk contest is good. Hopefully the skills competition is kind of cool, and 3-point contest always fun. But we'll be back after this long break. Hopefully the Knicks have some changes.
Hopefully they have some changes.
It's a good break for this Knicks team, and it's a good break for us, man. And the Knicks schedule is a gauntlet coming out. Absolute gauntlet. So strap up, boys and girls. It is going to be a tough.
Strap up, my man. Yo, get strapped, because we're about to go through it. We're about to go through it. Yo, we need this break right now more than ever. So, guys, as John said, we're taking a break this upcoming week. There's no Jets episode this week. This is the last episode.
Just a week off. We have a week off. Break. The Jets are off. Everyone's off right now. So Knicks Jets Etc. is also off.
Yeah, so we'll be back sometime next week. Probably after the Knicks play. And yeah, until then, enjoy this break off from watching Knicks basketball. We all need it.
Enjoy President's Day.
Enjoy President's Day. Spend time with your loved ones. Hug them, kiss them, bask in the glory of the Knicks. Don't mention the Knicks. Forget about them. Go on vacation for a while.
You could talk about the draft, though. There's some stuff already boiling up for the Jets draft. I'm already excited. So I'm holding that in, but just don't talk sports.
Look, if you need to hear, if you guys haven't caught up yet on the Senior Bowl stuff for the New York Jets, make sure to go do so. If you're Jets fans out there, we did some good coverage on the Senior Bowl, some prospects that played. that played well, that didn't play well. We touched on a little bit of free agency stuff. We're going to have some free agency stuff coming up soon. So, but that's more until once March gets around for the Jets stuff. So there will probably be no Jets episode for the next 2 weeks. Once March comes around, we'll be getting back into Jets. And for the Knicks, like we said, we're off for this week until the next play again next week. So that's it, everyone. Thank you for tuning in for another Knicks episode of the Knicks, Jets, Etc. podcast. You know what to do. Please make sure to give us, first of all, please make sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed to this podcast whatsoever. All right. We're on all audio platforms, whether it's Apple, Spotify, Google Play, Amazon, Alexa, Stitcher, you name it. We are there. And if you haven't listened to us and if you haven't rated us, please make sure to go over to Spotify and Apple. That's where you listen to us, and give us a 5-star review. And if you listen to us on Apple Podcasts, please make sure to leave us a comment. Also, we're on YouTube now. So make sure to type in Knicks, Jets, etc. period. You'll find the page. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to hit that notification bell. That way you know when a new episode drops. And when you watch a video, just hit the like button. It's just a kind thing to do. And while you're there, we got winning picks weekly. NFL is done. We got the NBA schedule still running strong. John, video producer Greg, they're going to go down some NFL stuff. I'm going to hop on there as well. They're going to get some guests too to go down some NBA betting.
No more NFL stuff for a while. Oh.
Yeah. So don't worry. You'll get NBA. You're gonna get some basketball stuff. Don't worry. They'll keep you up to date, keep you in the know of where you should be placing your bets. These guys will get you covered. And then last and certainly not least, please make sure to follow us on all social media platforms. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, you name it. We are there. Oh, and probably if you made it this far, if you're all wondering why I'm on my couch, just a fun story. I got a new desk. For myself, but to even add to the frustration of today, all the pieces didn't come in together. So I started taking one desk away, got rid of it, put it away, took it apart, and now I don't have a desk. So that's why I'm out here. But hey, thank you, New York Knicks, for just adding to the frustration of a day. And on that note, we out.
Let's go Knicks, I guess. Let's go McBride, maybe.